Hello, everyone. I'm Cheldin Barlett Rumor, and this is it. Welcome back to This Is It TV. It is such a pleasure to have our next guest join us. So much fun. I want him to reintroduce himself to all of you, his first and last name, and all he's up to.
Cheldin. I'm Louis Bezich, men's health advocate, contributing writer to phillyvoice.com, and the author of Crack the Code, 10 proven secrets that motivate healthy behavior and inspire fulfillment in men over 50. How are you?
I love it. I love it. I am doing well, and I'm excited about this topic because we don't talk about it enough. So I want to dive right into it. What are we talking about today?
Today, we're talking about how men, particularly men as we age, can reduce their risk of prostate cancer. Now, why is that important? Well, next to skin cancer, prostate is the most commonly diagnosed cancer in men. And again, the risk increases as men age.
Yes.
And what's interesting, Cheldin, is that there's new research out that, and this is a good thing, that reinforces in many ways existing research that suggests that if you eat a plant-based diet, and we'll talk about that in a second, it doesn't mean we have to go vegan or vegetarian. If you eat a plant-based diet, then you reduce the risk of getting prostate cancer. And the new research was done on men who actually were diagnosed with prostate, and it showed that if they ate a proportionally larger amount of plant-based foods, that they reduce the progression of that cancer. So exciting stuff. Again, it backs up prior research that says, yes, a plant-based diet can help you with reduce the risk of prostate, also cardiovascular disease, respiratory disease, and a whole host of things can all be, the risk can be reduced with a plant-based diet.
Wow. No, I love this topic in particular because we always, obviously, when we talk about men's health, we talk about, not necessarily seeing their doctor on a regular basis, not necessarily going to those checkups. And if you don't do that, right, there's, especially in this case of prostate cancer, you could literally be functioning and then not so much, right? And then only after the symptoms be able to do it. So being able to be preventative in this, I think, is really important, and to take an active role and to pay attention to it.
Absolutely. One of the things that everybody recommends in terms of men, and as particularly as they age, is to get a screening for prostate cancer. And you can do that with your primary care doc, and there's all sorts of ways to do it to make it the least intrusive and really make, stay on top of that.
Yeah.
But again, a plant-based diet, obviously vegetables, fruits, nuts, other things that fiber, other things that will really support yourself. And as I said, it doesn't have to be, in the absence of any meat, poultry, or fish. I follow what, would be called a Mediterranean-based diet, which is also referred to technically as like a flexitarian or semi-vegetarian diet. What that simply means is, yes, you want to have the largest proportion of your food, of your intake, to be plant-based foods, but that's not to the exclusion of occasional meat, poultry, or fish. Those are all acceptable as long as they're done in smaller proportions to the plant-based foods.
Understood. And so we were talking a little bit before we hit record. Recently, again, I do all of my annual appointments. I'm very diligent as it relates to it. I was talking to my physician as it relates to portion control and what my meals should look like and what does that really look like. When people say less carbs and they say more proteins, lean proteins, like what does my plate need to look like? So for those of you, there's once you're Googling, you can find examples of plates and that distribution and what it looks like. So what your plate needs to reflect, which is, again, for me, it's, the majority of the plate should be greens, vegetables. I can actually feel throughout the day, I'm like, I haven't eaten a vegetable today. I haven't eaten a vegetable. I need more vegetables before the evening kind of scenario. So I think that that's important.
It's extremely important. And, if reducing the risk of cancer wasn't enough of an incentive, there are other benefits that the science shows. Things like increased sexual function, urinary function, and general vitality. I don't know what guy, 50 and older wouldn't, vote for better sexual function, urinary function, and vitality in general. So again, you don't have to give up everything, but just in proportion, you can do it. It's such a benefit to your health.
I think so too. And we always talked about practical things, right? I mean, it's not all or nothing. It's not about going cold turkey in one particular way or the other. It's about
Right.
changing small things within your lifestyle. So maybe cutting back on those larger sweets or carbs or those heavier carbs, and then just adding vegetables, just changing the dynamic of that meal just a little bit and ensuring that you have what you need. So it's not changing your lifestyle completely. A gradual change can go a long way, not only for those three things, but obviously to avoid prostate cancer.
Absolutely. To me, it's all about taking control. In life, there's
Yeah.
so many things that are out of our control, right? And we can't affect. But this is one thing, our health, that
Yeah.
we can really take control of.
Yeah.
And yes, does it take a little bit of discipline, a little bit of thought and consideration? Absolutely. But the benefits, again, whether they be cancer, whether they be vitality, are there. And I think it's quite an incentive for guys, men and women of all ages, but particularly guys as they age.
Right. No, absolutely. And for those of you, those spouses out there, those partners out there, we need to know more about prostate cancer for sure. I mean, we talk so much. Women's health obviously is on the tip of everyone's tongue these days,
Sure.
but there are some real critical things that are affecting the men that we love in our lives, that we can urge them to go get these things
Absolutely.
out, incorporate them into our pantries and into our meals.
Absolutely. As I've said time and time again, women are the most valuable players in the game of men's health. Your encouragement and support is critical to
Oh,
getting men over the goal line.
I love it. I love it. Well, game on. I'm in. I'm in to help. I'm in to help all the men in my life. And I'm so
There you
fortunate
go.
to have you join me as often as you do. I want to make sure that people know how to get in touch with you, how to follow, fan, and like you, as I like to say. Where's the best place to do that?
You can follow me on social media at Louis Bezich. And of course, go to my website, louisbezich.com, and you'll see what's going on in my world of men's health.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Please get in touch with my dear friend. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. From all of us here at This Is It TV, I'm Cheldin Barlett Rumor, and we will see you soon. Take care.